Considering it lets you stay on top of your email, Facebook updates, snap pics, binge watch YouTube, and play games, your smartphone is pretty much an extension of, well, you. Here are a few things to consider next time you're looking for a new smartphone. iOS is easier to use. Android gives you more options. If you're torn between iOS and Android, opt for an iPhone. It's easy to use and gets both the hottest apps first and the timeliest software updates. Android is better if you want more hardware choices and plenty of affordable options. Don't pay more than you need to for a phone. iPhones and premium Android phones start around $650 and can easily run $800 or more, but there are a ton of cheap unlocked phone options below $500. Get the right screen size. If one-handed use is important to you, buy a phone with a screen that's smaller than 5.5 inches. Get a phone with a bigger screen if you want to watch a lot of videos or play a lot of games. Phone makers are starting to focus on ways to make big screen phones like the 5.8-inch Samsung S8 fit comfortably in one hand. When it comes to display, color quality and brightness trump resolution. A 4K screen is nice to have, but it's kind of overkill. Pay more attention to how bright the display is and how colorful the panel. And here's a hint, AMOLED is way better than LCD. The very latest phones offer high dynamic range, or HDR, for displaying even more colors. Along with battery life, your smartphone's camera has become one of the most important features, but instead of focusing on megapixels, pay attention to aperture and special features like dual lenses. The processor matters less than it used to. Even mid-grade phones now offer good enough performance for most users. But if you want the most power for games and VR, buy an Android phone with a Snapdragon 821 chip or the very latest Snapdragon 835. The A10 processor in the iPhone is also really fast. Listen closely. Don't settle for a smartphone with a battery life less than 3,000 milliamps. And finally, don't settle for anything less than 32 gigs of storage. Phones with 16 gigs are a ripoff, and thankfully they're becoming rarer among flagship phones, which generally start at 32 gigs. Now, if you plan to download a lot of games or shoot 4K video, go even bigger with 64 gigs or more. A micro SD card is nice to have for expanding storage, but it's only available on certain Android phones.